Okay, welcome to series number 5. Play number 1 on offense here. He just scored his touchdown to tie the ball game up, so it's 1:29 left in the second quarter. Obviously, I got a 1st and 10 on the 25-yard line. As you can see, I am in a full house Panther running my triple option here, or veer option. He's in a really good defense here as far as for me to run this against. With the defensive end wider than my tackle here, so it makes it easier for me to see it at least. So as usual, if he crashes on my back, I'm going to keep it with my quarterback, run the option, and then I'll make the decision depending on what this guy does here. So then if I do end up keeping it with the quarterback, if this guy attacks my quarterback, then I pitch it to McFadden. If he attacks McFadden, then I turn up and get as many yards as I can with the quarterback. Now, if the defensive end squats or comes hard upfield, I'm handing it to my back and then working my way off tackle here. Or generally I am, depending on how the blocking looks, but normally this is how you want to run it, so that eventually you do force him to crash, because you really, when you're running this play, you're hoping he crashes and opens you up for the option to be able to pitch it. So let's go ahead and run through this and see what happens. Just looking at his defense, it's just a regular standard 4-3. Looks like a cover two man maybe. We'll go ahead and run through it and see what happens now. So as you can see, he squats. That means I'm handing the ball off if I make the right decision here. I do break myself out and get myself a good 9-yard gain after he just annihilates my back. Really, that's pretty textbook right there, guys. The only thing maybe I could have done was cut back inside, but even if I do, this guy's right here, so he's probably going to make the tackle for about the same gain. So really, I mean, nothing else I could do. Good play in general. It worked well for me. So obviously in this I don't get 10 yards, so it's not a big play run, but I still get the 1 point for decision making and the 1 point for play success. So this is a 2-point play. Number 2 here, series number 5. I've got the ball on the 34-yard line, my 34-yard line, with the 2nd and 1 here after that nice run. 1:17 left in the half. As you can see, I'm in a Panther full house still. I went no huddle in this case. I audibled into the curl deep out, so obviously I'm not sticking with the option. So you can see what it entails here. I get a nice curl route here out of Williams, my X receiver. My Z receiver, Bryant, over here is running a bench route at about 12 yards depth. Fullback in the backfield here is running an arrow route or an arrow stop route. And my tight end, who's in the opposite fullback position here, is running a V route in this case, or an angle route if you will. And then I get a nice little flare route here out of my my tailback. So as you can see, his defense here, he stayed with the same thing. It looks like a cover 2 to me, maybe 2-man. So really the way to see that is to see if this guy sticks or not with the receiver. If he drops back with him, then I'm knowing it's probably either a maybe a sink or a cover 3, and where he would drop down here. Now, if I see him squat, I know for sure it's cover 2. If I see him kind of sit in the middle, then it's probably a 2 as well. He may drop a little bit, obviously, with the receiver. So what I'm looking for here is, if it's man-to-man, I want to look to hit this now. Right when he makes that break is when I want to hit it, actually, and hit it with really good timing. If I see that it's a cover 2, I'm going to go ahead and look inside here to the angle route, and that should open up nicely if it is a cover 2, because what usually happens is this middle linebacker here runs a Tampa 2. Tampa basically means he is going to keep dropping back deep as though it's like a cover 3. So it's, that's kind of what they've gone to nowadays. I don't believe there is a play in the game where he actually just drops a normal hook zone anymore. I think it's all Tampa. So that's a thing that I do a lot, where I adjust him to running just a normal hook as opposed to going deep. But normally when I'm running a cover 2, I'm controlling him anyways. So those are the guys I'm going to be looking for, whether it be Bryant or Witten. If I see this really quickly out of the corner of my eye, I may hit this, especially if he bails, okay? But really, it's mainly these 2 guys here. So let's go ahead and run through this, see what happens, and then we'll discuss. So right off the bat, I'm thinking cover 2. You saw there he jammed him a little bit to the inside. Now he's kind of squatting a little bit. He's dropping into his hook here. Look at that nice bubble starting to form here. He's dropping deeper than he's dropping with the Tampa 2, so he's doing his responsibility. It's just not something I like to do all the time. In this case, obviously, that's where I'm going to be looking for. this angle route, because once I see this 2, he's still underneath it, even though he's going to gain some more depth, and I'll have to hold the ball longer. So I'm pretty sure I decided really quickly this is where I want to go. So there you go with the throw, and we get a nice little 12-yard gain out of it. Right now there's a minute and 10, minute 9, and it's counting down left in the half. I'm not so worried about that. As long as I am past the 50 with 30 seconds left, then I feel comfortable, especially when I have 3 timeouts. In this case here, I get a nice little 12-yard gain. I'm at about the 46-yard line, and I'm happy with that. So grade-wise, it's a 2-point play. 1 for success, 1 for decision making. It was not a 20-yard pass, so it's not a big play type thing. So just 2 points in this case.